Greetings, News Plus Notes readers. We're here with retired Senior Master Sergeant Danny Bowen, former crew chief on this aircraft, Air Force One. So it takes a whole team to maintain an aircraft, but as the lead amount of that team, lead member of that team, how did you get selected?
Got selected. I was stationed at Andrews Air Force Base, and I was on the flight line with the 707s that would fly the vice president and on down. And the presidential crew, they would know individuals that were on the flight line and know their reputation and what they could do. So they come to me and ask me if I would like to be on the backup list, and got they had to put in for security clearance, and once I got my security clearance, then I stayed on that list until they needed to fill a vacancy, and then they select from the backup list to go on the crew.
So you know how to, obviously, you know how to maintain an aircraft. You've got a great reputation. How many hours does it take to make sure this aircraft is ready to go when it's needed?
Well, basically, when you're at home station, basically we fly or work regular hours, 8 to 10 hour shift, and it was always constantly doing something. If we weren't cleaning, we was doing preventative maintenance, doing upgrades. We might sometime the carpet need to be changed. It was just a constant maintenance attempt to stay ahead of all the stuff that needed to be done.
Well, with this being the symbol of our country and the beautiful paint job that it had, you obviously kept it in good shape, because every time we ever saw it on TV, it was shiny and clean
That's true.
on there. When your team worked on the aircraft, when it came in at night from one flight, what was the general turnaround procedure?
General turnaround procedure is once the president departed the airplane, we would get back into the hangar, get it fueled up if it needed to be fueled up. We would do what they call a post-flight inspection, and we'd check everything out, make sure everything was in tip-top shape. If there was any discrepancies that were written up, then we would get those taken care of. And usually you would get everything maintained to where it could go out on flight the next day. If we were going out on flight the next day, then we also had to do the additional cleaning of getting the airplane back in shape with no bugs on the windshields and the front of the nose, and get the gear cleaned up, get tire black on the tires, and make sure it looks the way it needs to be when it goes on the road.
What is your favorite memory of being the crew chief for this aircraft?
Uh, as far as this airplane, just knowing that it had the history of Kennedy going to Dallas and his body was returned on this airplane, that was the historical significance for me. As far as being presidential, probably my first trip that I got to take with the president on board, which was on the new 747 when President Bush went to Helsinki, Finland on his first overseas trip with the new 747. So for me, that was probably my most memorable moment.
So your family undoubtedly had to make a lot of sacrifice for you in order to serve in this capacity, because you never know what's going to happen when something's going to go.
That's true, and it's funny. My wife used to always ask where I was going, and I'd always say, "Well, we're just going on a trip." And she says, "Well, I'll know where you're at when it comes on the news. I'll see where you're at." But prior to going on the trip, we never did say where we were going.
Well, thank you on behalf of all the service team for the aircraft, for making our country shine and look in a good light everywhere this bird flew.
Thank you. I appreciate talking to you.